Hello Pisces, welcome to your general reading for September 2023. I'm using the ancient Italian tarot here, focusing solely on the major arcana to get the sort of big ticket view of what's coming up for you this month. I've shuffled, so I'm going to pull 3 cards. So I'm going to create 3 little piles here and take the top one from each pile. Okay, here we go. Card number 1, the Star. Card number 2, Chariot in the reverse. Card number 3, the Magician. Okay, now in this system of reading, this 3-card system, each position has a particular meaning. I mean, obviously the cards have meanings for interpretation, but the positions are as follows. Card number 1, position number 1, is things as you see them, things as they appear to you. Card number 3 is things as they really are. Card number 2, sitting in the middle, is the quality, the thing that is blocking your view, the thing that is blocking you seeing from the individual perspective to a wider, more neutral and kind of factual perspective. So things as we see them, things as they really are, and the blockage or veil or obscuration in the middle. Okay, what I'm getting from this Pisces straight away is that what you're hoping for is actually possible. There's a lot of hope and faith in this energy, in this card, in the Star. It's card number 17 follows card number 16, the Tower. You know, and after all that kind of mad, sudden chaos of the Tower that shakes everything, that rocks the foundations of your world, we move straight on to the Star, which is hope, faith, optimism, and being in the flow of things, in a kind of natural flow of things. Because if you can see there, she is pouring from those 2 vessels, and she's pouring into the source, into the river. And the water that was in those 2 vessels that she's pouring into the river came from the river. So there's a wonderful kind of cyclical flow here, the endless flow of life. And she's part of it now because she's been through the mill, card number 17. So, and that's why she hasn't even bothered to put any clothes on. All right, she hasn't bothered to put any clothes on. She doesn't need clothes. Where she's going, she don't need clothes. All she has to do is follow this star. So it's beautiful. So there's an awful lot of, I just want to see what that red thing is down there. I'll have to get my glasses on later and have a look at that little red thing down there. So yeah, an awful lot of hope being put into something. But what this is telling me is that an inordinate amount of hope and sort of wishing, like if only, if only, if only, if only, if only. It's inordinate, the amount. It's like inappropriate to be so kind of supplicatory as we are here. You know, please make it work. Please make it work. I believe it can work. I want it to work. Please make it work. Whatever it is, you do actually have a lot more agency than you think here in the Magician, in the upright. You know, you are able to pull stuff out of hats. You are able to make shit happen. That's what the Magician is about. You know, it's the card number 1 following the Fool, the 0 card. The Fool, the 0 card, says, I am. The Magician says, and I can. Okay? It's the start of a new karmic cycle. It's the first action. So there's a lot more available to you in terms of what you can actually manifest and bring about than you may think. I mean, this is a lovely, lovely sort of place to be anyway, but, you know, at some point, hope and conjecture and kind of vision can, if you wish, turn into actual action. Okay? Now, sitting in the middle here, we've got the Chariot in the reverse. Now, let me just have a little think about what this might mean, because my eye is drawn to the parallel of these two vessels here and these two horses here. Now, in the Chariot, the horses are not necessarily pulling in the same direction. And, okay, I've got it. The skill of the charioteer and the courage of the charioteer and the sheer grit and core strength of the charioteer rests in his ability to work these two separate forces to his advantage. So, as this is in the reverse, what it's telling me is that there is no great need on your part to hold on to the reins of the chariot as tightly as perhaps you have been. And you've been holding on to hope and faith tightly here in the star as well. You are in a position to let go a bit, right? Just like ease back on the reins a little bit. Because if you pull too hard on these reins, there's going to be no forward movement at all. The horses aren't going to understand what you want and they're just going to stop. And perhaps that's what's happened. Too tightly held onto, it's all too tightly coiled. If you relax it a little bit, what you'll find is you are actually able to manifest a lot more action than you thought you were, and bring about a lot more concrete material change to your life. This is largely about an attitude of mind, star here, and it's a lovely attitude to have. As I say, it's a beautiful place to be, in this place of hope and faith, and rightly so. But you know, the world is also a material thing, and that's what the Magician is speaking to me of here. So loosen the reins a little bit, Pisces, maybe. Okay, you just by loosening a little bit, you're not necessarily going to go careening off, you know, into a ditch somewhere. You're just going to allow a little bit more forward movement. And I mean, the thing with holding on tightly here, and I do think you're holding on tightly to this hope and this faith in the star card, because the Chariot is here, and that's about holding your nerve. And as I say, making those two horses work as a team, where they might not necessarily, you know, one wants to go one way, the other one wants to go the other way. You know, so you've got to like hold on tight to keep the bloody thing moving. But if you hold on too tight, this hope and this faith can turn into fantasy, okay, which is nice, but not always particularly helpful. And it is possible sometimes to sort of, you know, with this whole thing of sort of inner vision and visualization and visualizing your purpose, visualizing the way forward, that's the whole energy of the star. But one can get caught up in that, and you end up basically sitting in your room having lots of nice imaginary experiences. But that is fear-based. To do that, you've got to go out of your room and actually engage with things. And you know, you are in a position clearly here to, as I say, just free it up a little bit, free the energy up a little bit, and move into a place of manifestation from a place of visualization. Let go of these reins a little bit. There is no need to hold on so tightly to the sort of what ifs, and sort of making sure that you've got everything in its place and you've thought of everything and you've covered everything. You can never think of everything and cover everything. You just can't. That's not how the world works. That's not how life works. That's not how spirit works. I mean, for example, if you're manifesting, if you're doing this like law of attraction thing, I mean, I tried it once. I was single, and I'd been single for a while, and I sat and I visualized to myself a man, a lovely man, well, a man turning up, a sort of halfway decent bloke turning up on my doorstep with a bottle of wine. And lo and behold, a couple of days later, it happened. I was living in a small town at the time, and this dude, who I'd never met before, didn't even know existed, was in a particular job, in a particular organisation, in a nearby area. I had been in touch with that organisation as well about possibly working for them. They had told him, rather naughtily it turns out, about me, and he tracked me down and he turned up on my doorstep with a bottle of wine. Exactly what I asked for. Knock, knock, knock. And I let him in and I got to know him a little bit. And there were several major problems with him that I hadn't covered in the visualization. I hadn't said, can you please send a man who's like, okay, with a bottle of wine to come and knock on my door, please? But I didn't say, can you make sure he doesn't have appalling halitosis, please? And can you make sure he's not unfeasibly pompous? That would be really nice. Thank you. I couldn't cover it all, and you can't cover it all. That also is part of the star card. Well, she's completely uncovered, as I said, but you can't cover it all. All you can do is move forward in the spirit of positivity and hope. So let go of these reins a little bit, Pisces. Just let go a little bit and kind of free the energy up. Open the windows of all this a little bit and get a bit of a through draft through. Things need freshening up. Okay, you're not in a bad position at all, but things need freshening up a little bit. So we take it out of the mental into the physical. And that's when things really, really start manifesting for you. Right, Pisces, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. If you fancy helping me grow the channel, you can throw a bone for the algorithm to chew on. You can give it a like, give it a thumbs down, give it a comment, give it a subscribe, as you wish, or you can do nothing at all. Absolutely free, up to you. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Have a wonderful month. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.